Mic'd up.
Highlights from Lowlifes. Highlights from Lowlifes.
Welcome again, everybody, to Highlights from Lowlifes.
Hey, we made the playoffs.
Hey!
Woo!
Granted, we were a wild
cast
card
of
team.
characters. We got Rob Landerman. We got Marty Brown and special guest star. Oh wait, he doesn't like to be called special. Guest star Chuck Arthur is joining us.
Oh, the kids love that guy.
Great
clap.
topic tonight. I've been looking forward to this one because it's my idea. Top 5 most unlikely Major League Baseball home runs. So this could be
Major League?
Yeah. Well, okay. So you didn't read the topic. That's okay. So
my notes going on. All right, forget it. I'm off. I'm done. Forget
most
it.
unlikely home runs. I'm guessing we're going to hear about Bugs Bunny again. But top 5 Major League most unlikely home runs. Could be regular season, could be playoffs. There's a lot of good ones to choose from. Some of the guys know the most popular ones. I'm going for the obscure tonight. I think Rob, you're joining me on that. We're going to hear some interesting ones. And I actually have a personal story that I'm going to share with you guys for my number 1 pick. So you guys, I think, will enjoy that.
Nice.
So thanks for joining us. If you would like to leave a question or comment, hit the microphone at the bottom of the screen, and you'll be able to leave us a 30-second note about your top 5 most obscure home runs from the major leagues. Lowlifes, group of senior ball players in the Bay Area who got together during the pandemic and did mental health calls on Zoom that evolved into these top 5s. And we met the folks at Mic'd Up. They liked the format, and they've let us do this for over a year now. So let's continue to have a good time.
Clearly, they're not listening.
All right, we do have some comments flowing in, but why don't we get started with our number 5 picks? Marty, why don't you start us off?
Okay, thanks. I'm gonna bust the category right up front because this home run happened in the Double-A Eastern League, and the only reason I'm bringing it up is because I was there, and the person who hit the home run well, I haven't seen him in a long time, but is a friend of mine. I had an opportunity to go to the East Coast and wound up seeing the Norwich Navigators against the New Britain Rock Cats in New Britain. And this gentleman's name is Tyler Von Schell. He had a cup of coffee with the Grizzlies when the Grizzlies were with the Giants affiliate back in 2007. But I saw him in 2005. Again, this was the Eastern League, and the Giants affiliate was the Norwich Navigators. The game was in the opponent's town, and I was there all week on business, and then I drove up to Connecticut to watch the game. And he comes up and during the game and hits a grand slam home run. And I'm just cheering. That was great. That was terrific. And here's the great thing about minor league baseball. Everybody's looking at me wondering who the hell this jerk is. I just turned to everybody and says, I know him. He's a friend of mine. Cool. High five. All right. Way to go. All right. So in just a moment, and again, it's the magic of minor league baseball, where all you got to do is know somebody, be sitting around somebody that knows somebody. Maybe it's the parent, maybe it's the grandparent, or just the friends, and you're saying, and that's how easily you can become a fan of of the other team in minor league baseball. And I thought that was pretty cool. It wasn't major leagues, but I thought that was pretty cool.
That's all right. We'll give you a pass on this one. Personal.
Let him slide.
That works.
That's a great story, and I gotta let him slide.
No. It's a good one.
All right, okay, all right, Chuck, do something better. All right, you do
Oh, all right. Well, I'm going to make you guys guess who this is by delivering a few hints. All right? Okay, he's a fat guy.
Shocker.
Me.
Uh-huh. And he was a pitcher.
Was
Okay.
the
Bartolo Colon hit his only home run in 2016 against San Diego, and it was a pretty good blast too. It was down left field line, and just watching him run the bases was funnier than hell. That was the best part. But
he was kind of laughing the whole way around the bases, if I remember right.
Yeah, he was. And then remember what his teammates did?
Yeah, that's the best part.
They all went down into the clubhouse so that he came back to an empty dugout. And then he comes back in the dugout, nobody's there, he's looking around, and they all come back up and start high-fiving him and everything. I thought that was great. So anyway, you always got to root for the fat guy.
So the announcers were great on that too, because prior to him hitting the home run, they were just hoping he might foul one off. The other pitcher tired out. I mean, he ended up a pretty good pitcher. James Shields was a pretty damn good pitcher for his time. And
Big Game James, who never won a big game.
Yeah. All right, Chuck, who's up next?
Let's go with Robbie.
All right. All right. So mine is July 20th, 2012. Now, the first half of this is not the improbable home run, as improbable as it sounds. On July 20th, 2012, B.J. Upton for the Tampa Bay Rays and his brother Justin Upton for the Diamondbacks both hit their 99th career home run on the exact same day.
Wow.
That's awesome. That's pretty amazing, right? But it gets better. On August 3rd, B.J. Upton and Justin Upton both hit their 100th career home run on the same exact day.
Wow.
Yeah, so I that's 4 improbable home runs in my opinion. Well, I guess 2, but whatever. It's
the game is rigged.
Yeah. And the interesting thing is in the 10 games between the 2 home runs, they both had 7 hits. So
wow,
cosmically aligned for the Upton brothers on July 20th and August 3rd, 2012.
Were they twins?
They weren't twins, right? They were. I think Justin was the older one. But yeah, crazy, right? 99th on the same day and your 100th career on the same day.
Yep.
So I guess that brings it over to you, Webby.
All right. Let's Chuck, I'm going to stay with the theme of fat pitchers.
Oh, nice. I like it.
1968 World Series. Mickey Lolich, a 110 lifetime hitter with 1 extra base hit in his entire career, launched one at Cardinal Stadium off of Nelson Briles deep into the left field stands, well above the left fielder's head, and ran around the bases as if he'd done it every day. Got to home plate, shook the hand with his of the next batter with his head down, and acted as if he'd done it a million times before. And
That's what you got to do.
It's in the World Series, and the announcers during this are discussing the fact that he has the ugliest swing in the history of baseball.
Really? And they saw Hunter Pence, huh?
Yeah. When they're trying to teach you how to hit, they said keep your legs and your feet steady. He would always put his foot in the bucket and swing at stuff that he couldn't possibly hit, and he just crushed this ball. And he looks pretty good on the swing. And when we're talking Bartolo Colon, I mean, I think Mickey Lolich is the model for the modern day Bartolo Colon. I think Lolich finished out his career as a relief pitcher with the Padres and weighed close to 350 pounds at the time. So,
Wow.
yeah, he was. He finished his career with a 110 batting average.
Wow.
So it's not as bad as I thought it would be, but he's my number 5 pick.
Good choice.
All right, going for round 4 of the most unlikely Major League Baseball home runs. Robbie, start us off.
Okay. This is a similar theme to my first one. It's April 13th, 2009. It was a pretty brisk day in Detroit. It was like 37 degrees at game time. The wind was whipping in like about 20 miles an hour from left field. Nonetheless, Jermaine Dye stepped to the plate in that game with the wind just ripping through, and Jermaine Dye hit his 300th career homer. That's not what I think is the improbable home run. The next batter up, Paul Konerko, great player. I always liked Paul Konerko, good baseball guy. Konerko stepped to the plate, and Konerko immediately hit his 300th career home run. Two guys back to back 300th career home runs in the same game on a day when the wind was blowing in from left field. They both hit the 300th career home run into the wind into left field off of poor old Zach Miner. So anyway, yeah, another weird anomaly where two guys back to back home runs is an anomaly in and of itself, but career number 300 back to backs is just crazy. So that's mine.
Cool.
Marty.
Okay. Now, again, the theme is obscure home runs or weird home runs, and so you can look at a statistic of what was the longest home run, but then that gets you thinking. What is the shortest home run? Everybody have heard of Andy Euler? Andy Euler played for the Minnesota Miners in 1902. Had a career batting average of 221. He played for one season, 1 home run, and 6 runs batted in. Now, again, we know the statistics that far back are a little iffy. So I'm just going to read to you from a publication from 1953 about what happened on this date back in 1902. The bottom of the ninth, and Roy Euler ducked to avoid the high pitch thrown at his head. The ball hit Euler's bat, still resting on his shoulder, and became stuck in the mud in front of home plate. Euler was able to complete an inside the park home run before any of the opposing players found out where the ball was.
Nice.
Okay. This is obvious. I got it from Wikipedia, so it's always already. It's got to be true, right?
Got to be true.
Yeah,
It's
gotta
on
be
the
true.
internet. It's on the internet.
All right.
Yeah.
Andy Euler. So that's pretty cool. The shortest home run in baseball history.
Well done.
Very
Thank you.
nice.
I mean, these are both really interesting, even though they aren't tonight's topic. So thanks, Marty.
No, wait a minute. This is Major League. No, 1902
That's
Major
pretty
League.
with the
unlikely.
Minneapolis Millers. Come on.
Marty went to a lot of games in the dead ball era.
Oh man.
God, I'm not getting anywhere tonight. Jeepers creepers.
It's all right. It's all right. You know.
All right, you're set to critique, Weber. You take the next one. You do it.
All right. All right. I'm going to stay with the topic, which was top 5 most unlikely Major League Baseball home runs.
He got one so far.
All right. All right.
Not one, but 2. Very nice.
So
It's
the
frustration.
date-
I apologize. Frustration.
April 24th, 1999. It's a Dodger game at Dodger Stadium with the St. Louis Cardinals. It's early in the season. Chan Ho Park is on the mound for the Dodgers, and he gets into some trouble. And he loads up the bases, and up steps Fernando Tatis, not junior, senior. And Tatis hits a grand slam.
Mm.
For some reason, Chan Ho Park is still in the game. It's still the same inning, and the bases have been reloaded again. And Fernando Tatis is up again and hits another grand slam.
Wow.
So, what we have here is something that will likely be never duplicated in the history of baseball. One guy hits two grand slams in the same inning off of the same pitcher. So,
Probably not.
yeah, that's my number 4 pick is Fernando Tatis Senior's 2 grand slams off of Chan Ho Park, which was a lot of fun for us non-Dodger fans. So.
Before Tatis's second at bat, as he's stepping into the plate, Vince Scully says, "I'm not even going to bother with the record book. It's never been done before, folks."
All right, Chuck.
All right, I got to go with another fat guy. I don't know
All
if
right.
you guys are sensing
guys
a
abound.
theme there, but inside the park home run versus the Twins in 2007. Prince Fielder hits a vertical laser. It goes up, and I don't know if it went actually into the ceiling or it just got lost in the ceiling as far as the center fielder was concerned. And he couldn't find it. And so here's, 320-pound Prince Fielder rounding the bags and diving into home before the guy can even find the ball in the outfield. So
I saw that on video today.
Yeah.
The center fielder appears to be settling under the ball
Yeah.
in right center field, and then realizes he's about 100 feet away from the ball.
Yeah. Or he must have seen something up in the ceiling. Oh, that's not the ball. Yeah. It ended up, 100 feet behind him and off to the right. Unbelievable. But that fielder was still, he was chugging around those bases. And he looked like he was going to trip over third base.
Well,
but
Chuck, it is not his only inside the park home run.
No, I know.
Don't spoil things.
Another
for
one in the
now.
corner. Yeah.
Don't spoil things for other people.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
All right, that is we have finished.
And you guys are critiquing me all night long. Give me a break.
Yeah. No, sorry, no breaks for you. All right, we completed 2 rounds.
Nice.
What time is it?
Well, I think it's time for my favorite
20
part of the show.
6.
Okay, clearly Chuck didn't read the pre-show notes. It's my favorite part of the show, Chuck. That's what it is.
I know.
It's what you drinking.
Hey.
As always, this insane podcast called The Highlights from Lowlifes is sponsored by our good friends at Almanac Brewing, Alameda, California. They are one of America's premier craft brewers. We always enjoy some Almanac while we're doing this show, and we like to talk about what we're drinking. Hopefully you can leave us a what you're drinking message as well by hitting that microphone. But I am drinking the Almanac Hugs Hefeweizen. Again, this is, I think, my 3rd week in a row with this one, and I really wanted to have some Oktoberfest tonight, but the Hugs Hefeweizen was calling me. Wie eine Mutter sind mich, dieses Biran.
So when it calls you, it calls in German?
In
Was
German,
that Latin?
Yeah, because this is a very German-style Hefeweizen. So, yes, of course it's calling me in German. Duh.
Huh.
And you understand it? Uh-oh, your microphone's giving out again.
You know nothing. It won't cut out if I don't do the accent.
That was an accent?
Yeah.
Oh.
Ish.
Ish.
All right. What else? What
are you guys
drinking?
Yeah. What are you guys drinking?
Well, I'll admit I got the Rocktoberfest.
Oh,
it's
nice.
it's actually October, so even though it's knowledgeable drunks know it's been Oktoberfest for some time, but all right, for you people late to the show, it's October, so here's Rocktoberfest.
Nice.
And again, it's almanac, so say no more. It's got a nice flavor. It's not heavy. You can have a couple of these and not feel too weighted down. But I'm a fat guy; I always feel that way. But
Are you going to be on Chuck's list?
He's never hit a home run. Come on.
not even a Stratomatic? Damn it! Ooh, was that I said a dirty word? Or was that?
Ooh, no, you're good.
Oh, thank you.
I didn't hear anything.
Okay, Chuck, get me out of this.
No, you're good. All right. I'm drinking the Almanac Seaside West Coast IPA.
That's a good
it's
one.
very good, but I do
Nice.
want to talk about the description at the top.
Yes.
It says deep, relaxed, and vast. I'm thinking the label guy was thinking about something else. when he wrote that. I don't know. So, anyway, it's delicious. It's very good. I like it.
Well, on this 104-degree day in Campbell, California, I have gone back to the first ever almanac that I've ever had is the Love Hazy IPA. Great beer. It's a lot of people don't like drinking IPAs on a really hot day. This goes down nice and smooth and it's really refreshing. So my number one choice.
You're feeling the love.
That's right.
Oh, Chuck's got a big love
big
on
love.
hand.
This is the next one I'm drinking when I'm done
That's-
with my other one. So.
That's a double IPA. If I drank that, I'd be drunk for 2 weeks.
Crap, I already drank 4 of these.
And nobody knows the difference.
I feel fine.
He puts the bar in Bartolo,
knows.
folks.
All right, we are through a couple of rounds here.
Thanks, Almanac.
Thank you.
If you're in
Almanac.
Alameda,
Yes,
stop by the
Almanac.
brewery. Tell them you heard about them from the Highlights from Lowlife show. They might take pity upon you.
And we are planning a visit to Almanac in the very near future. We'll let you know when that will be. We'll probably do the show from the brewery over in Alameda. So we have a special evening planned that is contingent upon us receiving something in the mail. I'll tell you more later. All right, let's go into the third round. Chuck, you finished up that round. Who's up?
I'm too old for the draft. I don't get it. No draft card here. No
Let's
draft
go
card.
with Robbie first on this one.
All right. Okay, let's go back to May 8th, 1992. 2 men on, 2 men out in the second inning. Butch Henry, pitcher, not a very good pitcher, also a worse hitter. So he had that going for him. He slapped a short, slicing fly ball down the left field line. Barry Bonds, who had won his 3rd consecutive Gold Glove Award that year, gave chase and dove to make the catch, except he did not make the catch. He missed badly, and the ball rolled all the way to the wall. Butch Henry got his first and only Major League home run, an inside-the-park home run. He's the first pitcher since Joaquin Andujar, and like one of only 5 pitchers in all time to have inside-the-park home runs. He never homered again. His lifetime batting average was 139. The best part was Butch Henry said, I started out slow and I ended up slower. He said, I was cussing at the third base coach the whole time when he waved me home. I was happy with the triple and 2 RBIs.
All right.
So I just like Butch Henry, improbable that he would get a home run, more improbable he'd get a inside the park home run, and then he wasn't happy about it. That is an improbable home run.
Yeah.
Sounds like one of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Webby, why don't you go this time?
All right. I actually witnessed this home run. 1979, June 10th, at the Oakland Coliseum. The A's are playing the Blue Jays. Jim Essien is up with the bases loaded. And he swings and hits a dribbler down the third baseline that gets by the third baseman right off the bag and rolls down into the bullpen. The left fielder, Otto Velez, is chasing the ball to try to bring it back in. He trips over the bullpen mound, goes face first into the sidewall and knocks himself out.
Oh.
So now catcher Jim Essien, who can be timed by the sun, a sundial as you're going around the bases, he is off to the races trying to score while the center fielder is running over to get this ball that's laying in the left field corner. He made it, an inside the park grand slam home run. The A's won the game 12-0. And I marked that day as the day I got to see Danny Ainge, the NBA player, play second base for the Toronto Blue Jays, and very poorly by the way. So saw it in person. Quite the day. All right, Marty, what do you got?
I'm gonna pick up on Chuck's lead here, and I'm gonna take the other inside the park home run by Prince Fielder.
Wow.
And it parlays just because it was in Toronto, like Webby was just talking about the Blue Jays. Ball right down the right field line, and I get now. No, let me see if I set this up right. I guess it got stuck in the padding of the wall, and Alex Rios, who was the right fielder for Toronto, was hoping the umpire would call a dead ball and ground rule double rule, but he never does. In the meantime, Fielder goes around the bases and scores the inside the park home run. And the reason I'm phrasing it the way it is that's what you get if you pull up that on YouTube, and the broadcasters have no idea what's happening in that right field corner because their view is obscured by the stands. He's got a double, and he's still running. And where's the ball? And he's still going. They have no clue what's happening in that corner, and that's the great part of that clip. So I encourage everybody to pull that up. Cecil Fielder inside the park home run in Toronto, and listen to it. It's funnier than a crutch.
It is pretty funny.
Yeah,
I think that's the one where he almost tripped over third base.
right.
Third base.
Yeah. But and if you then go back and look at the other one that Chuck described, because Chuck's was first, this was the second one.
Yeah.
You thought he was big then. Take a look. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's my size at that point. Oh my jeepers.
Yeah, he is strangling that belt that's holding up his pants.
Yeah, he had to be like 320, 330 at least, right?
Yeah, there definitely was a sizable spare tire. I'm trying to be delicate here, but
Crawford had the "Let the Old Dudes Play" shirt. We got to get one that said "Let the Fat Dudes Play" shirt.
Hey, I'm
in honor of the Prince Fielder and Bartolo Colon.
Fantastic, Mr. Landerman. What do you got?
Did I already go in this? No, I guess I didn't.
Oh.
Did I? Did I?
Yeah, you did.
Did I not?
Number 3?
I can't remember.
No, I'm paying attention here.
Okay.
No, he started it.
Yeah, I did start it. That's right. Man, I need another beer.
Wow, me too.
Wait.
Hey guys, we still got half a show to do. I'm padding this.
I haven't gone yet for this.
All right, so Chuck, thanks, Chuck.
All right. Well, this dude's definitely not fat.
Oh no!
But
It
was a pretty cool situation. It's his first major league at bat against the Indians in 2012, and Jurickson Profar crushes one deep right field. Yeah, I think it was a second level or something like that in his first at bat in the major leagues, and the youngest player to ever hit a home run in his first at bat in the major leagues. He was 19.
Yes.
Incredible.
He looks tiny compared to the way he looks today.
He looks like a kid. I mean, he looked like a junior high school kid.
Yeah, something right out of high school. Yeah. Which he was. He was 19.
Yeah. So that's pretty unlikely that you come in to the league that young and just crush one on your first at bat. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
All right. We have
Hey.
completed round 3.
We have a what you drinking call, so I need to
Oh,
slide
great,
that
great.
in.
Oh, great.
Yeah, before we move on.
What you drinking? I'm looking forward to a Rocktoberfest after we finish our very hot practice for Babe Ruth today. Cheers, boys.
It's
All
not
right.
that hot. It's not that hot here.
Is
Well,
it,
not
is it,
for-
is
not for
it- I
Sacramento.
didn't know. Is it really that warm out there in the valley?
I don't think so. It wasn't that hot today.
It wasn't 104. It's just dipped below 100 here. So.
Well,
Oh,
I've
wow.
been
Oh, wow.
indoors all day, so in
Okay.
an
Oh,
air-conditioned
sorry.
office, so I wouldn't know.
All right.
But it doesn't look hot.
All right, Chuck, get us started in round 2.
Round 2. Okay. One of my favorite Giants players ever. 10th inning against the Rockies in 2013. And they got the ghost runner on second base. The score's, I guess, 5-4. And Giants are at home, of course. And I remember this one because I was actually listening to it on my feed on my phone when we were out celebrating somebody's birthday or something. But Angel Pagan hits one into that deep right field corner, and it ricochets off the wall, and he goes all the way around and scores an inside the park walk-off home run. And I always remember that. So that's one I won't forget.
Excellent.
I like
Excellent.
that one.
Yeah,
All right, cool.
I remember that too. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
I like the
plays
way
with
Flannery waved him in too. That was hilarious.
Oh,
and-
Flannery beat him to the plate, if I remember right.
Yeah. Well, the sad thing about that was later on you found out that he pulled his hamstring pretty bad, round in third,
Ooh.
and he was out for a lot of the rest of the season, and he was never the same after that.
Yeah.
Ever. So that was the kind of sad part of that one. But it was, man, was it exciting when it happened. Even on the radio.
All right, who's up, Chuck?
Let's
Chuck.
go with Marty.
Okay. The 2017 American League Division Series, where else but at Fenway Park in Boston. And Jackie Bradley's up the bat, and he hits a fly ball right down the right field line. That's short, where the right, and we all are familiar with Fenway, and the fence kind of bends in a little bit. And they're playing the Astros, and the right fielder was Riddick. I think JJ Riddick. I think I'm not sure the first name.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And he played. I remember he had a good career with the A's before going to Houston. And he's running to get the ball. And there's the foul. The foul line is right there. There's no foul territory. There's just a short 4-foot fence. And rather than running to the fence to catch the ball, gee whiz, this is where we really need the video. He kind of does a little jump and puts his foot on the top of the fence, which was just enough to jar him. At the same time, he's trying to catch the ball, and he botches it, and the ball goes right into the stands. Home run.
Yep.
Jackie Bradley had the most awkward-looking home run ever, and it is on national television because it was part of the playoffs. Yeah. So, yeah, again, I want to urge, if you haven't seen it, take a look at that YouTube. You're just going to look at it and said, why did he do that?
It's like a 300-foot home run around the pesky pole. Yeah.
Yeah, right. That short porch, the whole bit. Yeah. It was, and any other ballpark, it would have just been a fly ball close to the line. But on that day, that particular day, it off his glove and it literally bounces into the stands. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Webby.
All right, I got a good one. It only happened 3 years ago. Down in San Diego, the Washington Nationals are crushing the San Diego Padres early in a game. I think it's 8-0. Max Scherzer's on the mound for the Nationals. They're cruising. So the Padres open up a can of bullpen and bring in a pitcher by the name of Daniel Camarena. Daniel, his job in that game is to eat innings. But suddenly, the Padres start to score off of Scherzer. They get a couple of runs and they load up the bases. But the Padres don't pinch hit for Camarena. So he comes up. He's never batted in the major leagues before. The pitch is about ankle high, not a strike. And he golfs that thing 400 feet into the right field stands for a grand slam, putting the Padres right back into the game, which they eventually won.
Wow.
It remains the only hit that Camarena has in the major leagues. In fact, he's a lifetime 333 hitter. He's 1 for 3 with the grand slam home run. The best part about it, two things. One, I don't know if you remember when the Padres used to hit home runs, they put a big Flavor Flav like necklace around the guy when he comes into the
big
dugout.
chain with a clock on it.
So Camarena's wearing this during the post-game interview, and Max Scherzer walks behind him during the interview as he's coming off the field or going to the clubhouse, and he just puts his head down and shakes it. But a totally cool moment. People stayed around in the stands afterwards. Camarena's never won a game in the major leagues. He's thrown about 20 innings, but he'll always have that night 3 years ago. So very cool.
Awesome.
All right.
That's funny.
So who is Rob? Did you go?
I think it's Robbie.
No, yeah, just me. Yep.
All right.
All right. So we all know the Yankees of the of the early and mid 60s just consistently kept bringing guys up from the farm system that could hit. Guys that just could put the ball in play, drive it all over the ballpark. And this young 23-year-old came up to the plate in just his second season. He came to the plate with the bases loaded in the 5th inning at Yankee Stadium, and he hit what the New York Times called a lusty line drive that actually split the outfielders, Carl Yastrzemski and Jim Gosker, and rolled all the way to the wall in center field. At the old Yankee Stadium, dead center field was 460 feet away.
Wow.
So this ball ran all the way to the wall, and this young hitter came all the way around, slid into home, didn't really need to slide, with the only modern era pitcher to ever hit an inside the park grand slam, Mel Stottlemyre.
Oh, cool.
I didn't know that. That's fantastic.
Yeah. And
Ah.
Stottlemyre was a career 160 hitter, so it wasn't like this was this was par for the course for him. This was the one shot in the round of golf where you hit 126 as your score, but you had that one drive that just went 340 yards. Yeah, that was Mel Stottlemyre's one drive moment.
That's a great.
So, and he went on to get a complete game victory as the starting pitcher.
Excellent.
Oh, you
That's
should
cool.
you should retire after that day. You can't get any
no
better.
kidding.
Yeah.
That's a pretty improbable home run in my book.
Wow.
All right, we completed round 2. Rob, what time is it now?
Oh yeah, that's great. That brings us to a portion of the show I like to call
The sponsors love that part.
yeah, and it's not the sponsors I'm worried about. We love Mike Up. And now here's Rob.
So in this portion of the show, I tell you about all of the other shows on this platform. I try to keep it below 3 minutes unless it looks like Rob is not irritated, and then I go on a little bit longer.
All right, I'm timing it.
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
So first, before we begin, if you have a comment or a question for us, hit that mic at the bottom of the screen. You got 30 seconds. Leave us a note, and we'll play it on the air if we like it.
Yep.
These are proof of concept shows here on Mic'd Up. Couple of other shows that you'll see on here: the Rick Barry Show, NBA All-Star Rick Barry will have a show probably every other week with his cohort Cyrus, and they'll talk all things basketball, the NBA, the Olympics, and the 3-on-3 league that Rick is coaching in. Rick will give you his opinion if you leave him a question or comment, and be prepared. You might not like it. So he will respond to almost every question that comes in. The Jim Darby Show. Jim is a former executive with Easton Sports, and he's an author of several books. Jim was close friends with Pete Rose, and he says that his show next week will be devoted to Pete. That'll be next Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific. He's going to tell a bunch of the stories about how he and Pete worked together on Easton contracts. So tune in. The Rovner Report. AJ and his cohorts have turned the recent shows into a session about how bad the New York Giants are. It is interesting to hear them talk and analyze each game. The Giants are probably not going to win the Super Bowl this year, and it's tough for these guys as they analyze what the team needs to do to get better. It's interesting that their viewpoints, to hear who they think will be better for the offense and defense in the next few years, and who may not be around. So take a listen. They did a show this morning on
1 minute.
Oh, the countdown is coming.
It's almost like the Giants or the Jets of football.
All right.
Yeah.
The Florida Sports Hall of Fame show with John Rieger is on probably every other week. There'll be a show, and John will interview those who have been inducted into the Florida Sports Hall of Fame. He just had NFL sideline announcer Pam Oliver, who is a graduate of one of the schools in Florida, and she gave a great interview about her time as the longest running sideline reporter in the NFL. And then finally, Yankees Coast to Coast. Oh, there was a delay on that one.
Oh,
Yeah,
just
there
from
was.
my chin to the button. Come on. Here, I'll give
Adam
him a double
Schneider.
whammy.
He had this going, and
There
then
you go. Adam Schneider and Mike Miller are friends.
Mike Miller.
They are on either coast, and they are huge Yankee fans. They've been to the fantasy camp many times, and they talk all things Yankees. And of course, this week, on Friday, they'll be doing a show about the Yankees' chances to get deep into the playoffs instead of just being a first round entry. So we'll see.
Go
I gotta
Royals.
say something about Mike Miller.
All right, go for it.
No, I played on his team in the last game of the league, and
Yep.
he is the nicest pitcher to guys who make errors in the field.
Oh,
One of the first plays of the game, hard hit ball to me. I kick it, of course, and he's all, "Oh, hey, don't worry about it. I see myself in you," and, and all this kind of stuff. It was hilarious. It was
Well,
hilarious.
I
yes.
see myself in you.
Yeah. So, but anyway, he is the nicest pitcher to play behind, because he's
All right.
never going to give you crap for kicking one.
Well, at our age, that our fielding percentage is less than 50, so that's good.
Yeah, I made up for it.
All right, good.
He kicked, yeah, he kicked two more.
All right, let's get into the first round, and then we can play some of these user comments. Let's see who finished up that round. Was that you, Chuck?
Oh, I think it was me.
It was you. All right. Who's up?
Well, Chuck, why don't you bring us home then?
All right. Okay. Well, I think this is probably the most famous home run in MLB history. It was Carlos Martinez hits a high lofting fly ball to center field and off the head of Jose Canseco behind the wall. So 1993, and he was still a Texas Ranger at that point. And
Yeah.
but I just remember when he ended up getting traded to the A's. The only thing I could think of was, oh shit, they got the guy who's let that home run score off his head. So, but anyway, my kids get a kick out of that watching that replay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
funny. Funny watching the center fielder come over and he can barely stop laughing.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice play, Jose.
Canseco had that look on his face like, what happened?
Do we got time for a quick Jose Canseco story?
Oh yeah,
Sure.
sure.
I used to live in Las Vegas, so I was taking a flight to Las Vegas, Southwest Airlines, where it's cattle car airlines. You get a seat and sit. You get on the plane, you sit anywhere, and the plane is pretty much full. And in walks down the aisle is Jose Canseco. Now he's long retired and all that kind of stuff, but he's still a huge human being. And why he's on this flight or why he's with us, I don't know. And the only seat available is opposite me in the middle. This huge man tries to sit in the small seat on the airplane, and he was not comfortable. And he was next to some guy that wouldn't shut up and wanted to talk to him, and finally figured out about 10 minutes in, figured out who he was and wanted to tell the rest of the plane who he was sitting next to. And Canseco you could see him he wanted no part of this. And I thought, why would someone with Jose Canseco with all his home runs and everything, going to this Vegas for some sort of baseball signing show or something?
Card signing,
Certain card show. Be on a rinky-dink airline in this rinky-dink seat. I felt sorry for the man. I really did. Anyway, sorry. Thank you. Sorry. Thank you for letting me share.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, who's up?
I got to go to Marty now.
All right.
Yeah.
I'd had one of two as number one, and Jose was there, and he came off the board. So the other one is simply the Rick Camp game.
Oh yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I forgot about
Good
that.
pull.
Yeah. July 4th, 1885 in Fulton County Stadium.
It was probably 1985, right?
No, he remembers it. It was 1885.
It was 1885 because I was there.
Marty is
Yeah,
there.
remember-
Because I was there.
We talked about Marty in the dead ball era earlier.
1985. The game goes 19 innings. Now, again, this is the 4th of July. But the whole part of it is this. Here's a guy by the name of Rick Camp. A nobody. He a journeyman spot reliever. And he is now in the what inning was that he came up? Because it wasn't the end of the game. It was the 18th inning.
Yeah, because they lost the game.
They wound up, because in the 19th inning they lost the game. In the 19th.
Sorry for the delay, folks. Marty had to get his abacus out to figure out the inning.
Those were in heavy use in 1885.
Good night. See you later. I quit. Rick Camp was an 0.60 batting average. And they were laughing. And again, check out the YouTube video. They're laughing at him being up at the plate. Because it was like about 2:00 in the morning.
Yes, but the announcers were great because they did say he's got an 0.60 batting average, but he's probably our best chance of the pitchers available to do something. And early in the at bat, he takes a hefty swing and fouls one back, and they go, "Oh, that was great. Too bad he didn't connect with it."
So he parks it to tie the game because they were playing the Mets, and the Mets were up 1 run at that point. It was the most unlikely home run. The Mets went on to score 5 in the 19th and to win the game. But but it was the most unlikely individual to hit the most likely home run at a most ungodly time. And here's a little asterisk at the bottom of the story. When did at the beginning of the story, if I may have got the year wrong, but I got the date right. It was the 4th of July. So when the game ended at 4:00 in the morning, what did they do? They set off the fireworks for the 4th of July.
And Timmy and his sister were there just to see the fireworks.
They got calls from the locals about to complain that they thought there was an explosion because who the hell shoots off fireworks at 4:00 in the morning? But the Rick Camp game. So go ahead, Webby. Number 1.
All right. You guys got to bear with me because this story goes on a little bit because it just ended last week, actually.
Good to go back to 1885.
No, we're going back to the late 70s. I'm a teenager in Saratoga, California, and my dad's coworker comes over to the house, and he says, "Hey, I got something for you," and it's a baseball bat, and it says the name Clary on it, Clary. And I said, "Oh, thank you. That's really nice." And he says, "Yeah, my son played in the major leagues." And I go, "Oh, I don't know him." And I knew my baseball pretty well. He says, "Yeah, he hit a home run." And I go, "What was the circumstance?" And he said, "Well, he went to Homestead High School in the South Bay, graduated and was drafted by the St. Louis Cardinals. And early in the 1976 season, the Cardinals had a rash of injuries and they needed an extra infielder on the roster. So they called up Doug Clary. Doug never played. The only reason he'd play would be in an emergency. So the Cardinals are playing the Giants at Candlestick Park. All of Doug's classmates are there. His baseball coach is there, but Doug's not going to play. It's getaway day. They're trying to get out of town. And of course, on getaway day, the game goes into extra innings.
It always does.
10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th inning, 16th inning. The Cardinals decide they're going to pinch hit for the pitcher that's in the game at the time. It's a 2-2 game. Mike Caldwell's on the mound for the Giants. Don Kessinger's on first base for the Cardinals, and Doug Clary comes up to the plate. Caldwell hangs a slider, and Clary hits it over the wall, giving the Cardinals a 4-2 lead, which they ended up winning the game 4-2. It was the only hit of Doug Clary's major league career.
Wow.
He finished
Wow.
1 for 4 with the 2-run home run. He never played in the major leagues again after 1976. He got traded a couple of times. His father gave me this bat. My dad put it on a wooden plaque that I had hanging at the house for years. Every time I moved, I brought it with me. And then during the pandemic, I said, "You know what? I need to start paring down some of this stuff I got in the house. I wonder if Doug would like his bat back."
Oh, wow.
So
Nice.
I went on the internet to try to find out where he ended up. And Doug retired down to the LA area and opened up a pizza place a couple of miles from Dodger Stadium. And I go, oh, it's called Cheech's Pizza. And I go, well, geez, that'd be kind of fun. I'll go down and I'll take the bat down. Well, then a couple of years later, I saw on the internet that Doug had sold the restaurant to his daughter, Allie. So I was trying to get a hold of Allie to let her know I was coming by, and she wasn't responding, probably because she doesn't use LinkedIn or something. So on my last trip down to Arizona, on my way back, I found Cheech's Pizza, and it turned out it seats maybe 10 people. Inside, it's mostly a buy a slice and leave type place, but it's in a really cool neighborhood in Los Feliz. And I walked in, and I saw this woman behind the counter, and I yelled in. I said, "Hey, can I speak to the owner?" And she motioned to somebody else to come up to the front, and this old guy came up to the front, and I said, "Yeah, I'd like to talk to the owner." And she came up, and indeed it was Allie Clary. And I said, "I have something for you." So I ran back to the car and got the bat and brought it to her. And it turns out the old guy, that was Doug Clary. He's 70 years
Nice.
old. He saw the bat, and he kind of teared up a little bit. And he says, "Well, why do you have this bat?" And I had to tell him the whole story about how his father, who passed away in 1995, had brought me this bat, and how I had it put on this plaque.
Wow.
My dad was a woodworker and put it on this plaque. And I said, "I wanted to give this back to you so you can put it up in the pizza place." And
Oh wow.
they made me lunch, and I sat down, I talked with him for 2 hours, and he says, "This is so awesome to have this bat," even though his last name is spelled wrong on the bat. It's Clarey, but he was just he's my brother now, as he says, and anytime I come down, I'm supposed to stop by and visit. So
Nice.
That's a
That's a
fantastic.
great story.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Doug Clary, April 28th, 1976, Candlestick Park. Only home run, only hit of his career. Beat that, Robbie.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Oh,
Better than Bob Uecker. Way better than Bob Uecker.
Sam Wahoo Crawford had 12 inside the park home runs in 1901. Yeah. Why the hell did you go third? That's a cleanup spot right there you just did. God damn it.
Ooh, you stole all your RBIs, Robbie.
Yeah, I mean, I felt fairly good about mine, and now I feel like crap.
Then I have accomplished my purpose.
Yeah, well, the good thing is that Almanac is getting us all a bunch more beer to try and enjoy, and that includes a whole slew of new sour beers for you.
Oh,
So-
right, right.
Yeah. A couple of coffee porters, some pecan toffee porters,
Yeah,
everything that should be great. So I look forward to that.
Sweaty
The broccoli
Jim Soft
stout.
Porter.
The broccoli sour
Stout.
stout.
Broccoli
stout.
And actually, the asparagus one is the one you got to watch out for.
No, the Brussels sprout one would be worse.
Yeah.
So I mean, if I've got to close out with the number one, Joe Niekro had 1,165 career at bats. Most of his time spent in the major leagues was pre-DH. He played for 22 years. We all know Joe Niekro, brother of Phil Niekro. They combined for 539 wins. Phil, of course, is in the Hall of Fame. Joe is in that next tier below, probably of pitchers in terms of qualifying for the Hall of Fame. He's a very good pitcher, but Joe did hit exactly one home run in his career when he was pitching for the Astros against the Braves in 1976. His home run came off of Phil Niekro.
No
So-
kidding.
Joe Negro hit a home run off of his brother in
Wow.
his only major league home run. The funny thing is that Joe batted 111 against his brother Lifetime, and Phil actually hit 316 against Joe. So, but I think it's awesome that Joe Negro's one Lifetime home run is off his brother, and that came up at Thanksgiving every
No.
year.
Oh
Every year,
yeah.
every
Oh
year.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
There.
we have completed all 5 rounds, and we have skipped over some of the more obvious ones, which we will, I'm sure, talk about in the honorable mentions if our viewers haven't mentioned them here. But yeah, I've got some that I skipped over because I was sure that you guys were going to use them. But okay,
Yeah, I do too. I absolutely.
all right, Rob, what do we got in terms of comments here?
All right, let's make sure I get this in order. Here's a caller I'm not familiar named JC.
JC here. I've got a couple. Number 5, the Grand Slam home run hit in Milwaukee by Brandon Crawford in his rookie year. Number 4, Johnny Pesky's home runs around the Pesky pole, 302 from the plate at Fenway.
Yep.
Number 3, Matt Chapman's inside the park home run for his number 25th. Number 1 and number 2 coming up.
All right, we'll move right into those.
JC back with number 2. Elliot Ramos's improbable right-handed home run into the water
Yeah,
Yeah,
at
got to call that one.
Oracle. And number 1, March 25th, 2013, Angel Pagan hits a walk-off inside the park home run to win a game against Colorado.
Got a baby, JC.
All right, moving on to Big Juicy.
Well, let's start off with one of my favorite players as a kid. I had a McGregor glove with his name in it, Bill Mazeroski, 1960 World Series, Pirates versus the Yankees, and he hits a walk-off home run to beat the Yankees in Game 7.
Good one.
Okay, these came in all wacky out of order, but I think I got it figured out now.
All right, continuing with number 4, how about Cardinal Ozzie Smith? First time for him, batting left-handed, hits a home run in the 1985 NLCS versus the Dodgers. Perhaps just as remembered is Jack Buck yelling, "Go crazy, folks, go crazy." Yes, that's Jack Buck, the father of our beloved Joe Buck. Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's why I'm drinking.
Yeah. Aussie Cal
Number
Poly
3,
guy.
let's go to the 1988 World Series. It's Dodgers versus the A's. It's another walk-off home run situation. This time, Kirk Gibson in L.A. facing the A's' Dennis Eckersley. And Gibson had been out of the game, injured. Knee was in bad shape, but he came in to pinch hit in the 9th and wins it with a home run. My number 2 involves the lovable Mets and that portly pitcher. Yeah, I'm talking about Bartolo Colon. In 2016 versus the Padres, he hits his very first home run at the age of 42 and becomes a cult icon in the world of baseball.
And all right, he's going to wrap it up with number 1. He's doing pretty good here.
Yeah, he's got, yeah.
And my number 1, and I'm sure you guys have brought his name up before now, but I'm going to go with it anyway. And that would be the 2014 NLCS, our Giants versus the Cards. That walk-off home run by Travis Ishikawa sends the Giants into the World Series. Ishikawa, in the twilight years of his career, not a power hitter, and catapults the Giants into the World Series.
Yep.
that's a good one. I mean, I didn't even think of that one until he just mentioned it.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And if you think back to my number 1, talking about my friend Tyler Von Schell.
Lily,
Ishikawa was the one who beat him out on the roster a couple of years earlier and made the Giants.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
What was his name again? Lily von Stupp?
you're up.
I just want to make sure I heard you right.
Well, you've been
All right.
crackling on all night. You want to be able to hear me?
Yeah. See, that's what happens when he gets that face too close to the microphone. It's snack
Microphone?
crackle
I
pop.
said Lily von Stupp.
We didn't get any of it. You were in and out with the microphone. Sorry.
All right. I mean, I'm kind of disappointed in us because we're Giants fans and we're connected to Dwayne Kuiper as our longtime announcer, but
Yep.
we didn't mention him on our list, but that's probably one of the most improbable home runs of all time.
Yeah, that was the one everybody thought everybody else was going to
Yeah,
have.
yeah,
Right.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, no disrespect, Dwayne. I'm sure you're listening.
Yeah, I'm sure he's listening.
All right, so I got a couple of great honorable mentions here. I like the theme that Rob was going for, kind of the weird situations where two home runs are related to each other. What about the back-to-back home runs by Ken Griffey and Ken Griffey Jr.
Oh,
in
very
the same
good.
game
Yeah.
There you
in
go.
1990? The 2005 NLDS, the 18-inning game between the Padres, I think it's the Padres and the Astros and the Braves. And in the 18th inning, Chris Burke, who hit 23 homers in his entire career, lined one into the Crawford boxes, allowing the Astros to move on from the Braves and into the next round of the playoffs. And then Game 5 of the '69 World Series, Dave McNally's pitching for the Orioles, and Al Weiss hits a home run. He had 7 in his career, but he hits a home run in the World Series to tie up the game and allow the Mets to move forward. So those are some of that I thought of. What else you guys got?
Well, I thought for sure it would come up. I mean, his name was legally changed because of it in 1978 when Bucky fucking Dent hit that home run. That's the
Bucky
last
Dent.
guy in that lineup that was going to hit a home run that hit a home run, and then literally he accepts that is now his middle name. So that was a big one.
Bucky effing Dent.
Bucky effing Dent. Yep.
Effing Dent. Yeah.
He'll sign a ball now, BFD, or
Yeah, BFD.
if you ask him to, if at like card shows and stuff, apparently if you ask him to sign that way, he has no problem doing it. And then Gus Triondos was one I almost used on my list. Rob's probably the only guy on here that knows Gus Triondos, the catcher for the Orioles. He is historically known as the slowest man to ever play baseball. Gus Triondos has an inside the park home run.
Would somebody die?
He was
he a fat guy?
Pretty much. Outfielders, the ball ricocheted off the wall, and outfielders were banging into each other, and then it's like a whole level of baseball similar to what we play kind of happened in the major leagues for Gus Triondos to get all the way around the plate.
With Benny Hill music playing?
Right. Yakety sax in the background. Yakety sax in the background.
He said, I was running as hard as I could, but the scenery wasn't passing by too fast. So, which probably makes that a great home run. And then my only other one is like back in 1990 when Bill Buckner returned to the Red Sox and he got a standing ovation from the fans and then proceeded to get an inside the park home run when Claudell Washington fell into the stands trying to catch a ball and it hit off the fence below Claudell and rolled through the outfield, and Buckner got his inside the park home run when he could barely walk. He got that. And my favorite part about that, Bill Buckner, of course, Napa High School graduate, Napa native, Claudell Washington came out of the stands and he said it looked like he hit the hot dog stand on the way out and got everybody put mustard and ketchup on him. Which, if you've been to a game at Fenway, it's it's probable that the Boston fans poured ketchup and mustard all over Claudel
Oh
Washington
yeah, yeah.
and held him in the stands as long as they could.
Yeah, to get away with it. Yeah.
Yeah, so those were mine.
Got any others, guys?
Nah.
No, I'm good. Thanks.
So the last one I could think of was the '87 World Series, Cardinals and Twins. Tom Lawless, who hit 2 home runs in his major league career, hit a 3-run blast off of Frank Viola in the World Series to send the Cardinals forward in that particular game. That was. I remember the announcers going, "We don't even know who this guy is," and just hit a home run off a Cy Young Award winner. So it can happen to anybody, I guess.
Hey, do you remember? Wait, so 2016 World Series? It just dawned on me. David Ross.
There you go.
Did he come in the game like in the 5th inning and then make like 4 errors,
Oh, yeah.
and then became the oldest guy ever to hit a home run in Game 7 of the World Series? Yeah, he had one of those weird innings and then like hit the home run that was one of the deciding home runs of the game.
Fantastic.
Yep. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this topic. We'll try to find some other topics like this. We plan to be back here next Wednesday for another edition of Highlights from Lowlifes. Until then, thanks for joining us. Thank you, Almanac. Thank you, Mic'd Up.
Thank
We'll
you,
see you
Chuck.
next week.
Great to see you.
Hey,
Thanks,
good
Jeff.
to see you
Yeah.
too. Good to see you
All right.
too, Monty.
All right.
Play us out.
Highlights from Lowlifes.
It is damn good beer. I gotta tell you.